Well, we are so happy to welcome back host of Inside Edition, Deborah Norville.
Not only is she staying busy with her show, now airing right here on ABC, your action news station, weeknights at 7, but she also has a new book she's been working on, Chicken Soup for the Soul. The Power of Gratitude. Deborah, I love this topic, and this is a topic you've studied, researched, written about before, but this one just seems to take the cake.
Well, I love these chicken soup books because they really are just what the title says. You pick it up, it's like a warm cup of soup, except it's for your heart, not for your tummy. And this one, Power of Gratitude, really sort of the roots were a book I'd written a few years ago called Thank You Power, in which I took the research, and there's actually research about what happens when you focus on your blessings, and the science says that when you simply take note and literally write down a couple of things every day that you're grateful for, it starts this upward spiral. You exercise on average an hour and a half more per week. You're more healthy. You don't have as many allergy attacks or headaches. This is all proven in peer-reviewed research. And maybe the biggest thing is people notice a difference in you. You're more pro-social. You do more nice stuff. So when you read stories about what other people are grateful for, it makes it easier for you to find things in your own life for which you're grateful.
Yeah, and in your book you were talking about there is a difference between just saying thank you, because I think we're kind of taught that as young
that's
kids.
polite.
Say thank you, that's polite, but there's a difference in really being thankful, and it's more than just saying thank you.
Yeah, and gratitude is an other-focused emotion. If I am grateful for the opportunity to be here today with you guys, it's not about me, it's about you and your hospitality and how nice everybody here at the station has been. And it fosters that connection between me and another person. So like we had the fishermen on today, right? They've got the big tournament. It's for wounded warriors. Totally coincidentally, there's a story in this book about a man out west on the Platte River who started a Wounded Warriors fishing project, and he talks about how grateful he is to spend all this time on the water with soldiers who've come back sometimes with a lot of challenges, and how he is lifted up by knowing putting a fishing rod in somebody's hand and getting them out there in the water has helped them heal. So it's the connection between other people, because that's what makes our lives rich, right? It's not the stuff, it's the experiences.
Well, when I was actually going through the book, one of the stories that stood out to me was about a woman that was expecting, and she's thankful for dirty dishes. And I don't know if you remember that one, and she was worried her kids weren't going to be healthy. Ended up, it's a great ending to the story, and she's thankful for doing those dishes every day. Were there any stories specifically? I know it's got to be probably the toughest question.
It's a co-author thing. So my co-author, Amy Newmark, and I both went through, I think they culled down the stories to 500, and then we had to pick 101, which is like, which of your children is your favorite, right? The one that's about to come. And it was interesting how we agreed on so many stories. One of my favorites, and we actually featured this last week on Inside Edition, was a woman named Lindy who was working at a place, and she really loved her job. She'd even moved to a new state for this new job, so they'd made a big commitment. And the company downsized, and she can see everybody is getting the call into the boss's office, and then they come out with the separation papers. She's like, oh God, don't let it be me. Well, it was her. And she goes in there and she's fired by her boss, but the boss looked so weary and so just burdened from what he was having to do. She looked at him, she said, thank you. Thank you so much for this job. It didn't last as long as I wanted, but boy, it's been amazing. We love this community. I hope we can figure out a way to stay. Thank you so much. I know this is hard for you. How are you doing? So she's reaching out and being solicitous to this guy who just canned her. So she calls her husband. She goes home. She turns off her phone. When she turns on her phone that night, there's a message from a recruiter who says, I'd like you to come in and interview for a position. You were recommended by, drum roll, the guy who fired her. So gratitude is the grease that makes society function, and you'll sometimes be surprised at how beautifully it can.
I think we could start a TV show with this, with these stories.
Oh, if you do, let me be the anchor, because honestly, I have seen how this changes people. When Thank You Power came out, I heard from folks around the world. I got letters from people from Indonesia, but the one that nailed me was the man, timestamped 2-something in the morning. He said, thank you for Thank You Power. I think you just saved my life. There is power in gratitude, and I want all your viewers to know it.
Amen. Deborah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
We'll be right back.